You can't manifest freedom if you don't feel free. Have you ever looked around and thought, why do I feel so stuck when I've tried everything to change my life? Most people are unknowingly living in an energetic prison, one that's been running their lives for years without them even realizing it. And the most difficult part is this: it feels normal. For a long time, I didn't realize I was living this way either. And what I'm about to share is the shift that helped me stop fighting myself and start seeing things differently. This isn't about forcing change or thinking your way out of anything. It's about becoming aware of what you've been living inside without realizing it. The beliefs, patterns, and internal rules that quietly shape how free you allow yourself to feel. As we move through this together, you'll begin to notice how simply bringing awareness to these structures starts to loosen them. And near the end, we'll take a brief moment of stillness, not to fix anything, but to let your body feel what freedom actually feels like when it's no longer holding on. As you listen, and later as you rest tonight, this awareness can gently settle into your nervous system, integrating in its own quiet way as you sleep. And when you wake, you may notice that something already feels a little different. The hardest part about feeling trapped is that you start believing it's just who you are. You wake up every day with the same thoughts, the same routines, and the same quiet heaviness in your chest. And over time, you forget what it feels like to be truly alive. And here's the thing no one tells you: most of these walls you feel around you, they weren't even built by you. They were passed down from the fears of your parents, the survival patterns of your ancestors, the unspoken rules of a society that wants you to fit into neat little boxes. It's like walking through life with invisible chains. They don't stop you from moving, but they keep you circling the same small space over and over. You might even call it comfort, but deep down, it's not comfort at all. It's captivity dressed up as safety. I remember a time when I thought I was making progress, reading all the books, listening to all the podcasts, doing all the right things. But if I was honest with myself, I wasn't building a new life. I was just rearranging the furniture inside the same prison cell. When I talk about breaking free, I don't mean waiting for the perfect job, relationship, or dollar amount to suddenly appear and rescue you. Freedom isn't something you chase. It's something you build from the inside out. After years of trial, error, burnout, and overthinking, I've learned it really comes down to 3 simple shifts. And once you feel these, everything starts to move. Starting with shift 1. See the prison for what it is. Most people try to fix their life without realizing they're still working from inside the cage. And here's the truth. The walls aren't real. They're made of words, beliefs, and imagined limits that were handed to you before you could even choose for yourself. This is where we have to question, whose voice is that in my head? Who decided what I'm allowed to want, to have, to be? The moment you see the story as just a story, you create space for something new to take its place. The second shift is regulate the body, rewire the mind. You can't think your way into freedom if your nervous system still believes you're in danger. If your body's on high alert, your mind will keep running the same survival programs. That's why I use simple, science-backed practices to calm my system and process old emotions fully. Things you can do in just a few minutes a day. Because once the body feels safe, the mind stops chasing old problems and starts imagining new possibilities. And lastly, shift number 3, embody the energy now. This is where the magic happens, and where quantum principles and consciousness really change the game. Don't wait until your life proves you're free to feel free. Feel it now. Live from that frequency now. Speak, move, choose as though it's already here. That's when you start attracting the relationships, opportunities, and synchronicities that match who you've decided to be. And here's the part I want you to remember. You don't need to be perfect to be free. Every tiny shift counts. Every time you calm your body, question an old belief, or choose a higher energy, you're already living your freedom. It's not about someday, it's about now. Let's take a moment right now to create that feeling of freedom in your body so you can remember it's possible anytime you choose. First, wherever you are, soften your shoulders and let your jaw unclench. Feel your feet on the ground or the chair supporting you. Take a deep breath in through your nose and let it out slowly through your mouth. Now imagine a gentle wave of calm moving from the top of your head down to your toes. With each breath, that wave clears away tension, old thoughts, and old emotions that don't belong to you anymore. You don't have to fight them, just let them dissolve like clouds drifting out of a clear sky. Bring to mind one moment in your life when you felt completely free. Maybe it was a place, a person, or even just a quiet morning. Let your body remember that feeling, like it's happening right now. Feel it in your chest, in your spine, and in your hands. Take another breath in and gently exhale. Now expand that feeling beyond your body. Imagine it radiating out into your day, into the people you meet, into the choices you make. This is the energy that changes everything. Now stay here in this moment for just a second longer. Now come back to center. Here's the tricky part. When you've been in the same energetic frequency for so long, it starts to feel normal. And if it feels normal, you stop questioning it. You stop imagining that something completely different is even possible for you. But your soul never stops knowing. That's why, even when everything looks fine on the outside, there's that quiet ache, that restless voice that says, "This isn't it, there's more." And that voice isn't wrong. It's not here to torture you, it's here to wake you up. Because the truth is, you were never meant to stay in that cage. And the key to getting out isn't about chasing something new. It's about embodying the energy of freedom right now, before the circumstances change. What you just felt, that lightness, that calm, it's just the beginning. Most people live their whole lives not even realizing they're carrying the weight of those invisible walls. And the first time you feel them loosen, it's like the air changes. You breathe differently, you stand differently. But here's the thing, freedom isn't a one-time event, it's a practice. You don't walk out of a mental or energetic prison all at once. At first, it feels like opening one door at a time, not because the door was locked, but because you hadn't seen it clearly yet. Some days you'll feel that open space easily. Other days your mind will try to pull you back into the old, familiar room. And the bigger picture, the part this whole practice is pointing toward, is realizing that the door has always been open. That's why it's not about forcing yourself to be positive or putting on a happy face. It's about choosing a different frequency, a state that feels real and grounded, not fake. And the more often you return to that state, the more natural it becomes. I've lived this. I know what it's like to carry those walls for years, thinking they were just part of me, until one day they weren't. And that didn't happen because I read one book or heard one inspiring talk. It happened because I kept coming back, hearing the truth over and over, letting it sink deeper each time. So, if this resonated with you, don't just stop here. Come back tomorrow, listen again, watch the next video. Not because one video will change your whole life, but because the more you hear this, the more your mind, your body, and your soul remember. You were never meant to live in a cage, not of your thoughts, not of your past, and not of the beliefs you learned just to survive. Carry this feeling with you into sleep tonight, letting it settle into your subconscious and recalibrate you from the inside out. When you wake in the morning, before your coffee, before the to-do list, this sense of freedom will already be there, anchoring you through whatever the day brings. And every time you do, another door opens. Be sure to like, share, and subscribe to Wise Intuition so you don't miss what's coming next. Until next time. See you soon, beautiful soul.